Hello there and welcome to our second and final edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. This Tuesday, the 28th day of April 2026. But first, let's have a look at our top stories. Tonight, Bank of Uganda against the Protection of Sovereignty Bill 2026. National Citizens and Immigration Control arrests over 200 suspected illegal foreign nationals. Cabinet reinstates the nationwide implementation of trade order. And in sports, the Cavs steps up preparations ahead of the 2026 Under-17 AFCON in Morocco. Hello there and welcome once again. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcasting House here on Nile Avenue. I am Rukidi Kiijanangoma. The Bank of Uganda has said the intentions to usurp its powers could cripple its operational independence. The Governor, Bank of Uganda, Michael Atingi-Ego, says the best option is to stop the introduction of the Protection of Sovereignty Bill 2026. In verbatim, Governor Atingi says Bank of Uganda is established to protect national sovereignty from genuine foreign interference, as enshrined in Part 6 of the Bank of Uganda Act. Take a watch.
Oh, and the Deputy Governor. Wow, the whole leadership is here. Yes, please, sit.
Critics of the controversial Protection of Sovereignty Bill 2026 are up as Bank of Uganda joins them.
Article 162, subsection 2 of the Constitution clearly protects the Bank of Uganda from being subject to direction or control of any person or authority in performing its functions.
The Governor, BOU, Michael Atingi-Ego, has expressed various concerns that could contradict the existing legal framework. Suppose the Protection of Sovereignty Bill 2026 is approved.
And Chair, in addition, with respect to matters concerning financial institutions, the Financial Institutions Act takes precedence over any enactment, and in case of conflict, it shall prevail.
Michael talks about regulatory fragmentation, which could result in overlapping regulations and affect economic growth. The Governor warns about the intentions to usurp the independence of Bank of Uganda.
This assessment argues that the bill in its current form risks introducing regulatory fragmentation and subjecting this economy to voluntary shocks, potentially undermining the very economic strength upon which true national sovereignty is built.
Michael Atingi-Ego reveals how the legislation risks reversing 3 decades of successful financial development through liberalization that has sustained economic growth.
What this bill is introducing, it is introducing what we call time and policy inconsistency. That is going to threaten the tenfold growth that the government of Uganda is aspiring. If you look at our investment levels that are required, they are far much lower than the savings we have. So we require foreign capital to fill up this gap.
The central bank has asked Parliament to allow it to retain exclusive authority over the financial sector.
Because the bill is so restrictive in regulation, it's likely to drive actors into informality. We are going to have informal channels again coming back. Think like the Hawala systems or the unregulated financial instruments, which is eroding the tax base and undermining the bill stated goal of transparency.
BOU is against the requirement that the minister approves foreign financial support above 400 million shillings and the prohibition of banks from paying out funds to foreign agents without the minister's authorization.
Also, Honorable Members of Parliament, we are now in a digital economy where real-time transactions take place. Now, we require the Minister of Internal Affairs to approve any payments that are going to be made by agents of foreigners to foreigners. In real-time payments, straight-through processing, at what point does the Minister of Internal Affairs come in?
Several stakeholders have objected to the proposed legislation, which government claims will be the only solution to regulate foreign interests that targets destabilizing the country's sovereignty. The Financial Intelligence Authority Executive Director Samuel Wandera has backed Bank of Uganda by presenting to the MPs how the bill will likely cause more harm than good.
And Chair, of course, given the good intentions at the Financial Intelligence Authority, we think that this bill may create some unintended consequences, which will be increased informality and illegal channels of financial inflows into the country, such as alternative value transfer systems, including the use of the hawalas, the virtual assets, and this may obscure the visibility of such transactions by law enforcement agencies.
Bugweri County MP Abdu Katuntu accused the FIA of negligence, which could have provoked government to introduce fresh legislation.
You remember we set you up by an act of parliament because we thought everything here which has been brought, you'd be able to handle it. Is this a confession that actually you failed in your duties and therefore we are setting up a parallel system? And since the bill came up, have you to either Bank of Uganda or FIA talk to your line minister, say what is this going on? If you haven't, then you're not doing.
These institutions already are operating effectively under well-established statutory mandates, and reaffirming their primacy would preserve the regulatory coherence and accountability, avoid geo-licensing and inspection.
The concerns presented by the authorities, including Bank of Uganda and the Financial Intelligence Authority, could hold intentions of the government to add color to the safeguards of the Constitution. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC News.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development Tuesday launched the National Petroleum Policy 2025. The new policy, unveiled by Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Tayebwa, reflects the current realities and progress within the sector. Dennis Sigoa reports.
This could be the final oil and gas convention ahead of Uganda's first commercial oil production, with timelines now set for the 30th of July 2026. The two-day event, officiated by the Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Tayebwa, is on the theme Fast Oil, Fulfilling the Promise, Forging the Future. The Energy Minister, Dr. Ruth Nankabirwa, said the gathering marks the dawn of commercialization, a transition from development into a sustained production phase expected to shape Uganda's economy for decades.
And to all of you stakeholders, let us remain focused, disciplined, and united in purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, Uganda's oil and gas story is one of patience, resilience, and determination.
At the start of the convention, Uganda's 2008 National Oil and Gas Policy was formally retired and replaced by the new National Petroleum Policy 2025, which reflects the current realities and progress within the sector.
So in this policy, we've consolidated the entire value chain from upstream, midstream, down to the downstream, and also we are undertaking reforms to equally consolidate the regulation of the entire value chain through the Petroleum Authority of Uganda.
On his part, the Deputy Speaker applauded the strides made in Uganda's oil and gas industry, noting its strategic role in delivering the country's tenfold economic growth agenda.
Uganda is moving from a construction phase into a long-term production economy. The convention highlights this shift from capex-driven investments to an OPEX-driven phase that will sustain operations for 20 to 30 years. We are therefore moving from building the infrastructure to running and maintaining it over the long term, creating sustained opportunities for many years to come.
He, however, cautioned the line ministry and key stakeholders against continued shifting of production timelines, warning that Ugandans have been patient long enough and any further delays will be deeply frustrating.
This business of extending, Minister especially now that we've had the war in Iran, you'll hear that now containers have delayed. You hear, please, this business of being a country known for extension. Extension is the Turabia Zimara.
Joint venture partners Total Energies EP Uganda and China National Offshore Oil Corporation, CNOOC, reaffirmed their commitment to ensuring Uganda joins the ranks of oil exporting nations sooner rather than later.
Our readiness roadmap had been anchored on 3 pillars. First, infrastructure readiness. Our central processing facility, feed lines, flow lines, and water intake systems are all complete or nearing completion.
As we transition from construction to operation, we should not think that everything is done and we don't have any future challenges in front of us. The production phase will come with its own challenges.
With 2026 designated as the year of fast oil, the Deputy Speaker said the era of ceremonial speeches is over. What remains now is execution. As Uganda races against yet another oil and gas production timeline, the message from the August House is very clear. This multi-billion-dollar project cannot survive on broken promises and shifting timelines. Dennis Igoa for UBC in Munyonyo.
Over 200 foreign nationals suspected to be in the country illegally have been arrested by the National Citizens and Immigration Control in an immigration enforcement operation. The suspects were picked up in coordinated operations in Kampala and Ajumani district. Authorities say some are reported to be victims of human trafficking, while others were engaged in suspicious activities. Ivan Kahwa reports.
Ministry of Internal Affairs has paraded 169 foreign nationals at its headquarters in Kampala following an operation conducted in Ibukoto-Ntinda area.
Today I have a big issue.
The individuals are alleged to have been operating in the country without valid immigration status. Authorities say they were residing in a highly restricted apartment and engaging in suspicious activities.
Self-contained apartment complex equipped with its own restaurant and internal facilities designed to restrict movement and ensure a total focus on illicit operations. The area where we got these ones had very strict access both to entry and exit.
Several exhibits, including computers and other IT equipment, were recovered from the apartment, which has since been designated as a crime scene.
Used to facilitate illegal gaming, betting, and organized scamming. You have heard of people who call and scam people pretending to be investors here. This is the group.
Efforts to access the premises were unsuccessful as access required multiple levels of authorization. Preliminary reports indicate that some of the individuals may have been trafficked into Uganda under false promises of employment. They are currently undergoing screening and processing.
Those found in violation of Uganda immigration laws will face prosecution in accordance with the country's laws. Cases involving suspected trafficking or criminal activity will be referred to the appropriate law enforcement agencies for further investigation.
Meanwhile, 62 Nigerian nationals were arrested in Ajumani district for operating illegally without valid work permits, including running a church.
These people come under the guise of preaching the gospel and hide behind the other irregular activities.
Authorities are advising landlords to exercise greater caution when renting out their properties in order to enhance security.
Evan Kahwa reporting there. Now, Cabinet has decided to reinstate the nationwide implementation of the trade order, reversing last week's suspension imposed by Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, David Bahati.
In early February 2026, the government of Uganda initiated Kampala Metropolitan Trade Order Enforcement, which targeted street vendors and all businesses in ungazetted areas. The operation was extended beyond Kampala to the entire country in March 2026. The exercise later received public outbursts, with many condemning the high-handedness of the enforcement team. Following a public outcry, last week State Minister for Trade, Industries and Cooperatives, David Bahati, told Parliament that government had suspended operations until June 2026.
So we have suspended the operation of the trade order until we do more consultations.
But again, Cabinet has rescinded Minister David Bahati's communication.
So I'm here to inform you that Cabinet, at its sitting yesterday, the 27th April 2026, agreed and resolved that the implementation of the trade order should continue as earlier planned.
Though Parliament and a section of the public supported the suspension, government justifies the reverse of last week's communication.
Cabinet pronounced that trade order is non-negotiable. Cabinet agreed that Kampala is the capital city of Uganda and the face of our nation. The standards we set here must reflect order, discipline, and structured economic activity. The progress made so far must not be reversed. Otherwise, we shall have lost the gains so far achieved with the trade order.
Minister for Kampala Metropolitan Affairs, Minister Kabanda, and for local government, Raphael McJesse, have told the media in Kampala that the enforcement will continue.
Enforcement teams must remain firm, consistent, and professional, ensuring that operations are conducted within the law and with respect for human dignity. With respect to human dignity, all traders are reminded to operate strictly within gazetted markets, arcades, and designated trading areas. Any attempt to return to illegal street vending, growth, encroachment, or disorderly trade practices will be dealt with decisively.
In the meantime, there is a public outcry of affected persons who seems to be breadwinners and are left hopeless as government resuscitates the trade order. In the meantime, government seems to have a variety of alternatives.
And then we'll work out solutions to ensure that the people who have not yet found space in the formal markets or in the designated trade areas are reassigned new workplaces so that we don't compromise the incomes and livelihoods of our people.
Meanwhile, Minister for Local Government Raphael McJesse has told the public that government has approved money for the elections of LC1, 2 and women elections.
And I'm here to inform you that Cabinet approved that money, and therefore I expect Minister of Finance to formally inform the Electoral Commission.
Robert Nyongo, UBC News.
Bus owners and operators under their umbrella, Uganda Bus Owners Association, UBOA, have announced an increase in transport fares on every route due to the rising cost of fuel. During a press conference at UBOA offices in Rubaga, Kampala, they announced that effective today, every trip will increase by between 5 to 10,000 Ugandan shillings.
The pump price fuel has increased at almost every fuel station, which is attributed to the war in the Middle East. The chairperson Uganda Bus Owners Association, Solomon Nsimire, announced an increase in fares on every route. This was during a press conference at their offices in Kampala.
Bus owners and operators, so we have all unanimously agreed to make that adjustment.
Nsimile told the media that effective immediately, fares on all routes have been increased between 5 to 10,000 shillings.
Starting from today, we are going to increase our transport fares by an average of 10,000 shillings for every journey so that it can cater for the increased inputs.
Passengers have been urged to remain calm as the situation stabilizes to normal fares.
I appeal to the general public to bear with us, because if we don't increase our prices, then we shall not be able to offer this service. And we have agreed that we are regularly sitting to review our prices, and we shall be communicating accordingly.
Meanwhile, the government will come out to engage with bus owners to either reduce fares or continue with the current situation. Andrew Sebira compiled this report.
When you don't use Momo, you are forced to quarrel.
Mama, balance? Mama, nkwenye kumitano.
Ompaire kumibiri.
Abantu abakuluma atandise obuyayi mwena.
Obuyayi obuliga.
Iwe.
Ngobi yanko bantu
sente dange ninzade kolera ngobi nakolera sente dange.
Save yourself from quarreling. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3# to pay and enjoy zero charges below 5k. That's the power of Momo.
In 1986, a new chapter began. A fundamental change was etched into the heart of our nation. Uganda has since then witnessed a socio-economic transformation under the leadership of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Through peace and security of persons and property, economic growth, infrastructure expansion, health improvements, education, regional integration, industrialization, digital transformation, youth and women empowerment, wealth creation, among others. A nation once in recovery is now a beacon of regional stability. The people have spoken, and the NRM government has been given another term in office. The Board of Directors, Management and staff of the Uganda Broadcasting Corporation proudly congratulate His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tibuhaburwa upon his resounding victory in the recent elections. Witness history as it happens as we broadcast the swearing-in ceremony on Tuesday, the 12th of May 2026, live at the Kololo Independence Grounds, here on UBC TV, our radio stations, and all our digital platforms. Ugandans, let's protect our gains. Long live NRM, long live Uganda. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Are y'all ready? Uganda, the real dancehall party is on! Africa One presents Safari Beats featuring the queen of dancehall straight from Jamaica.
Big bumper girl, Spice!
Stay down there, girl. Stay down there.
My time to wind up. Let them know say that nobody can stop me shine.
Spice! She's checking in to taste the Rolex, jump on a boda boda, and experience the real Uganda. Then shut it down with a massive concert at Lugogo Cricket Oval, 9th May 2026, alongside Cindy, Winnie Nwaji, and Carol Casita. Tickets are available now on Quicket, M-Ticket, *252# and FlexiPay. Powered by Nile Special.
A beer unmatched in gold.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. A warm welcome to those of you just joining us. Now, the National Girl Child has launched the 5th National Girl Child Champion Awards 2026, slated for the 11th of October 2026. Representing the State Minister for Youth and Children Affairs, Balamba Rugahara Atenyi, the Commissioner for Youth and Children Affairs at the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Mondo Chateka, says the initiative empowers the girl child. Take a watch.
As we officially launch the National Girl Champion Awards
2026. This important occasion not only marks the beginning of another impactful journey, but also reaffirms our collective commitment to empowering the girl child in Uganda. Are young women who are not only shaping their own futures, but also transforming their communities and inspiring a generation.
It will be a process. It starts today. We are letting the media know, we are letting the country know that the Girl Champion Awards are on. Nominate them. We are waiting for your nominations all over the country. We will go to every part of the country.
National Girl Champions Awards were founded on a simple but powerful belief that every girl, regardless of her background, has the potential to lead, to inspire, and to transform her community. Over the past 5 years, we have witnessed remarkable stories of courage, resilience, innovation, and leadership from young women who are breaking barriers and redefining possibilities.
As a young woman living with a disability, I have often been defined by my limitations rather than my potential. But this platform has reminded me the powerful truth that disability is not inability. Participating in this championship has given me confidence, strengthened my leadership.
Uganda AIDS Commission and other partners is still bothered with the high number of children infected with HIV through mother-to-child transmission. According to the chairperson of the Uganda AIDS Commission, Dr. Ruth Senyonyi, 4,700 babies were infected with HIV through mother-to-child transmission in 2024.
Despite available interventions to prevent mother-to-child transmission of HIV, a sizable number of babies are accounting for new infections. According to the chairperson of the Uganda AIDS Commission, Dr. Ruth Senyonyi, in 2024, 4,700 babies were infected with HIV through mother-to-child transmission. She was addressing journalists in preparation for the International Candlelight Memorial Day due to be commemorated in May. Despite the decline, mother-to-child transmission of HIV contributes 13% of all HIV new infections.
Because having 4,700 babies born with HIV in 2024 is a big number, and therefore we need to reduce that number to almost zero if we are to end AIDS by 2030. Therefore, we want to encourage pregnant women to go for HIV testing, and if found positive, they should be started on treatment and put on the ART treatment as per treatment guidelines.
According to UNAIDS, Uganda needs to sustain efforts directed towards the fight against HIV in order to achieve the global goal of ending AIDS by 2030.
We must also strengthen community-led responses by committing to the global strategy targets and ensure that communities lead at least 30% of services, they deliver 80% of programs, and that 60% of available funding is directed at the grassroots level.
Another area of concern is how women and girls can have access to HIV prevention options and financial empowerment to reduce transactional relationships.
They also need to be given accurate information to make informed choice, because while now LAN is the hot cake, but there are also other prevention options like the Prevent Vaginal Ring, there is the cabotegravir, there is the oral PrEP. All these are options. There is condoms. All these are options. So women must be availed with information on all these options so that they are able to make informed decisions.
Community level is where the fight starts. So if we are to have 30, 80, 60, the community-led, community-based, and financing directed towards the communities, it means we have to go down to the communities and get them the accurate information. So how are we doing this for Candlelight? We're going to 9 cities around the country. That's Jinja, Mbale, Soroti, Gulu, Arua, Fort Portal, Hoima, Mbarara, and Masaka. And we're going to the marketplaces. In the markets, we find that there are quite a number of women there who are working and don't have time to go to the health centers for services. So why don't we take the services to them where they are?
And we cannot underestimate how much power comes with education. Power to negotiate, in case she's in a relationship, her negotiation skill is better. Power to know that when I go to school, I will make money and I will have my own money as a woman, as a girl. I will not depend on a man. I will not engage in transactional sex because I have power. Power is very powerful to a woman, to a young girl.
Uganda AIDS Commission 2024 statistics show that there are 37,000 new HIV infections. Adia Nakute, UBC.
The Inspector General of Police, Abbas Byakagaba, has interacted with students from Sir Apollo Kagwa Primary School during a visit to the Naguru Police Headquarters. The learners paid a courtesy call to appreciate the work of various Uganda Police Force directorates, including Counter-Terrorism, ICT, and the Directorate of Forensic Services. The IGP emphasized that awareness equips young people with knowledge on safety and contributes to crime prevention.
Generally, the tours of these schools help us a lot to interact with these children, because definitely we give messages to these children about how to take care of themselves, but also the children help us to transmit these messages to even older people, including their parents. And once we have dealt with the children, we know that we are going to nurture good citizens who will be very useful in the future, but even currently to ensure that they are well protected, because eventually they are given tips.
Example, are you seeing this?
These children have learned a lot. I think before this, they thought that police officers are responsible maybe to control traffic. But what they have seen here, a lot is here.
Yes, we actually, the science which they are learning actually is part of the basic, they do the redox reactions, which we use also in our work. But in terms of them knowing that they should be critical in the efforts we are talking about, the awareness. Yes, indeed, we talk to the teachers, we talk to the community leaders, and they should be the ones sounding that message. I remember back in the days when we also used to be in school, there used to be a very strong message by the then retired IGP Iga, who used to go to the schools, talk about traffic and so many things. And that sound came in, look left, look right, and then cross the road. So now we are saying, look, if crime has happened, it's your role to protect the scene. So if the children begin championing this, they will be telling the adults and saying, hey, that's a crime scene, do not get there. So as we have been having this discussion even this morning when I was on Magic F callers, I think it was Emma, was saying, look, we need to do more sensitization, which is correct. We need to be out there in the communities, telling people that, yes, there is this application of science in policing. You also have a role to play, because even the children, we do tell them that if you see something this way, that looks probably a crime, you have to report it.
But they are also given, they are enabled to see other sides of the police, like the way we handle our investigations, the way we handle policing in general. And this is very important, more especially beginning with the children.
The Deputy Resident City Commissioner Nakawa, Edrin Benessa, has warned land grabbers encroaching on government land that such crimes frustrate planned government development projects. He was responding to complaints from vendors in Ntinda Market who raised concern that their market land had been grabbed.
Trade order has been.
RCC Benessa visited the alleged site where government land belonging to Ntinda Market has been encroached upon by land grabbers.
How did you acquire the other land?
The deal had Ntinda parish leaders, Nakawa Division Fiscal Planner, and other officials who inspected the disputed area.
Today I paid a courtesy visit to
new Ntenda market after getting numerous complaints from the leaders, especially the parish development committee led by the area chairperson of LOC2, alluding to the fact that some people are grabbing government land. And indeed, when I went there, I made so many observations, including but not limited to government land that has already been developed.
During the meeting, the RCC condemned settling on government land without permission.
I want to issue this warning. For example, the woman who mortgaged the government land and obtained a loan of 3 million shillings. I think this must be stopped. And like you heard me, we are going to cause the arrest of this woman and if all those people who have made it a point to grab government land and they have continued to develop it with impunity, even without any clearances from the rightful authority, which is KCC.
He also called upon National Environment Management Authority to stop people from occupying gazetted areas.
Wesanganje takalya mugaso lyandibadde likola nga government lyandibadde liweebwa abantu okulikulakulanya oba ne tulaba kati nga mu road reserve wesanga nga abantu bebamu ate bebagenda okusaba government compensating nga bongerayo ekkubo.
RCC also interrogated those accused of constructing on market land without approval.
They came and bought this. So whose land is that where you are? You bought it from who? After paying. Who sold that land to you?
Other participants in the meeting also shared their views.
The only problem is that we are operating in a place which has never been gazetted very well. Everybody who claims the ownership and rights here is wrong.
The one who negotiated for this land for allocation of the market in Ntenda Parish because there was no any market.
Resolution from this engagement, the right to the town clerk, to pick it up from there.
Rebecca Nantongo for ABC News.
That one is very clear. They moved me.
Now, women from civil society groups and communities are in a regional training on conflict resolution and peace building. The training at Paul VI Memorial Hotel, organized by American Friends Service Committee and Friends Women Peace Initiative Uganda, focuses on inclusive, gender-sensitive advocacy in Uganda and the Horn of Africa.
Participants, young women and girls, discussed issues that strengthen their role in peace processes. Sheila Waweru of the American Friends Service Committee and Salam Hub highlighted the organization's mission to strengthen women-led peace initiatives across the Horn of Africa.
Today we're in Uganda, but we operate in the Horn of Africa, so we are here to train women peace builders and women from women-led organizations to advocate for women's participation in peace building. Notice a trend of women being involved in peace building at the grassroots level, but not so much in the international level. So the reason why we are doing this is to get them there to the international level. Also, we know from research that peace building processes that include women are more sustainable and are more likely to last.
Director Friends Women Peace Initiative Uganda, Chimono Sylvia, and Apollo Wapicho emphasized empowering women as key actors in conflict resolution.
Finding a way of being involved in the decision-making processes of peacemaking, especially in their communities, their workplaces, in the areas that they work in. Because in most places, men have been barriers to their participation. Whenever there is any peace building meeting, the women are not included. So we were looking for strategies on how to reach where they are making those decisions.
Gathering here a number of women, the CSOs, the CBOs, and the faith-based and even cultural-based societies from Uganda, purposely to see how we can bring up these communities together, societies together, to agitate for peace. Alongside their objectives of their organizations, we want them to chip in the issues of peace for women, especially in homes, the vulnerable communities, the lame and others, those who don't have the voices out.
Facilitators in human rights, gender equality and advocacy equipped participants with practical skills.
What I handled today, I managed to discuss women inclusion in Uganda and in the Horn of Africa. I took people through the different frameworks, the laws that we have in place, For example, the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325 that provides for peace building, among other laws.
Facilitated a session on the significance of having women's voices in conflict resolution and peace building.
Saying that for sustainable peace to actually exist, it has to involve the women, because the women are the community gatekeepers. They raise the children, they are involved in those roles that influence the sustainable peace to arrive.
I've learned so many things that our communities has been blocking most women to participate in. The knowledge that I've gained, I'm going to use to mobilize different women in our communities.
The Lions Club of Uganda has donated a consignment of assorted food items to support street children. The donation was conducted during the official launch of the Nangabo Lions Club branch at Benjamin House, a facility that rehabilitates, shelters and supports street children.
The increasing number of vulnerable children has resulted into a decline in moral values, calling for intervention to serve the next generation. At Maule village in Gayaza, Lions Club of Uganda has set up a shelter to provide care and support for street children and other vulnerable children. It also launched a branch in Nangabo. It encourages members of the community to participate in charitable initiatives and support those in need.
Today we decided to come here because Benjamin House has the same vision as Lions Club of serving, because they are serving street children, they are serving children who are in need, and the vision or the motto of Lions Club is to serve. So we wanted an institution that resonates with our vision.
The Lions Club region chairperson Lion Edgar Kasigwa commended the Nangabo Lions Club for supporting vulnerable communities.
Netwagala okusiima abateekaho eno project initiative ya Benjamin House ogezaako okuyamba abavubuka, kuba kati ngaffe naffe aba Lions tulina kye tuyita humanitarian aid, neera tuyamba kakati kiba kitukwatako nti youth empowerment, tugezeeko okubayamba, tuba empowering, tuba skilling, bavemu nga responsible citizens.
The distribution of essential supplies such as soap, rice, flour, sugar and other household necessities to those in need was made. The club will roll out community-focused projects to improve and saving lives of vulnerable categories.
Abaana ku street obulembo awangaliramu gamazima gali nti si bulungi. Abaana basula mu myala, olumu ne mukeera ku macanga amazzi nkuba yatonnye kuba timbate mu kimanyi abamu ne bagenda.
Tuyina abaana betujjayo nga tubaleeta eno gye tubeere Wakiso, nga abaana tubayambako, tukola rescue, tukola rehabilitation. Mu rehabilitation eyo tubayigiriza okusaba, tubayigiriza okusonyiwa, tubayigiriza okweyaga.
Kyo okubeera ku street omwana olunaku lumu ki dangerous nnyo, kimuleta okukyusa endowooza, n'alowooza bubi eri obulamu bwe n'eri abazadde be n'eri eggwanga.
Amwaeva Njuko reporting for UBC.
MTN Foundation under the Change Maker Phase 3 has supported the Kara Girl, a community organization in Kotido district, with 5 industrial-scale machines to produce sanitary pads. The initiative targets the girl child in order to keep them in school to complete their education.
Many girls in Karamoja sub-region often drop out of school as others get unwanted pregnancies or married early due to lack of sanitary pads. At St. Daniel Komboni Primary School, Kotido, some of the girls told UBC the challenges they encounter.
Money for buying pads, so we double clothes to prevent some from our children from penetrating the clothes.
There's no way that I can wash the reusable pads. So you get that the pads will smell, and after when you go to class like that without washing the pads, boys will laugh at.
MTN Foundation through Change Makers initiative have supported Kara Girl with sewing machines and materials to make sanitary pads to cut down girls dropping out of school during menstruation periods.
Machines, we have kitting units that are going to enable them keep the girl in school, as also help them practice the vocational skills they need. not only in Kotido, but also the neighboring districts and the sub-region as Karamoja as it is.
Meanwhile, Kotido district leaders and beneficiaries said the initiative is a change maker.
We have been using our friends for stitching this.
I know MTN has elevated you now.
Now that MTN has given us this reusable pipes, we shall reach deep inside there. Deep villages, we handle different communities in the villages of Kotido district. So we'll be able to produce pipes in big numbers, and I believe given an opportunity, these girls can actually stay in school and
kids can make 12 pads in a day, which is very good. The fabrics they have given us, I think, can make 10,000 pads.
As you're all aware, that 3 to 5 girls in Karamoja do not go to school due to stigma from their peers because of menstrual periods. Today, they have unlocked that potential that the young girls will be able to make their own reusable sanitary pads from their schools.
Changemaker Phase 3 was started in 2023 with over 500 million shillings. Each community project received 20 million shillings. Story compiled by Maureen Yiga for UBC News.
And news just in, the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja has called upon African nations to devise alternative financing to protect themselves from global financial shocks. Nabanja was addressing the 12th session of the African Regional Forum on Sustainable Development in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, arrived last evening in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to represent Uganda at the 12th session of the African Regional Forum on Sustainable Development, for which she has been chairing the bureau for 1 year. Uganda's delegation is comprised of ministers for general duties in the office of the Prime Minister, Right Honorable Justin Kasule Lumumba, Minister for Water and Environment, Beatrice Wanywa, State Minister in charge of Finance, Amos Rugorobi, and State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Henry Okello Oryem, among other technical staff from the government of Uganda. Addressing the forum at the UN offices in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Nabanja stressed the need by the African nations to find alternative means of financing in order to scale up innovations and partnerships towards achieving sustainable development goals by 2030.
With only 4 years and 8 months remaining to 2030, we must move with urgency, from commitments to concrete and measurable results. We must leverage science, technology and innovation. Regional integration is very important. Innovative financing and strong partnerships. And these platforms remain critical for ensuring that Africa's priorities, especially in financing, climate action and sustainable development, are fully reflected in the global decision making.
Nabanja rallied African countries to prioritize investments in infrastructure to unlock regional connectivity and intra-African trade in order to reduce on the costing of running business on the African continent.
As we accelerate implementation, it is important that we strengthen the key enablers of transformation. In particular, we must prioritize investment in transport and logistic infrastructure to unlock regional connectivity and intra-Africa trade, ensure reliable and affordable energy to power industrialization and innovation, and decisively reduce the cost of doing business, like I've already told you, to attract investment and support private sector growth. As we hand over the chairmanship, I wish to encourage member states to prioritize the following. 1, the nexus between peace and sustainable development. Number 2, the need to take full advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Area. Number 3, the need to strengthen enablers of development.
The 3-day conference was also addressed by the Executive Secretary of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, UNECA, Clever Gatete.
Indeed, Uganda has demonstrated how international and regional commitments can be translated into national action including through institutionalized review mechanisms and strong coordination of the Sustainable Development Goals and Agenda 2063 with national planning systems.
Gadete commended Nabanja for her strong leadership in ensuring the forum succeeds on its development agenda.
Uganda has set a high standard for accountability and follow-through. We would like to express our gratitude as ECA for the kind invitation to that important accountability exercise, which was very insightful and enriching learning experience. As the Economic Commission for Africa, we take pride of this leadership, and we thank you, Prime Minister. Africa's challenge today is not lack of frameworks. The Sustainable Development Goals, Agenda 2063, and National Development Plans are well aligned. The challenge is implementation at scale.
Later, the Prime Minister held a bilateral meeting with Gatete, where she emphasized the financing of Africa's development agenda.
They usually call it these days blended finance. We also feel like we needed to strengthen domestic resource mobilization.
Gatete promised to support Uganda in order to achieve the Sustainable Development Agenda.
We'll now be taking a very short break and we'll be returning with the latest in business. Do stay with us.
When you don't use Momo, you get insulted by strangers. Save yourself from insults. Use the Momo app or dial *165 *3# to pay and enjoy zero charges below 5K. That's the power of Momo.
In a fast-moving world, why are we still stuck with paperwork? Signing here, stamping there, moving from office to office. It's exhausting. Now, there's a better way. With UG Pass, you can securely prove your identity, sign documents, and access government services anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stress. Everything is instant, safe, secure, and government-backed. UG Pass, your identity secured. Available in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. UG Pass is a product of Nita Uganda.
Some people think when a woman starts leading in business, the home will suffer. But many families are discovering the opposite.
Before, I worked hard in our business, but I feared making big decisions. I was worried people would say I was disrespecting my husband. Then I joined the Grow Project, where I received training, business support, and coaching that helped me plan better, manage money wisely, and make decisions with confidence. Today, I lead with confidence in my business. I contribute more at home, support our family needs, and help reduce the burden on my husband. I'm not competing with my husband, I'm standing with him.
And our marriage has not weakened, it has grown stronger. We understand each other better, we plan better, and our family is better off because her voice counts.
When a woman is supported to lead, the family can move forward.
The Grow Project is empowering women with skills, confidence, and support to make informed decisions that strengthen their families and grow their businesses. Respect her voice, support her choices. For more information, contact your district or City Grow Project focal person or call 0800 307 777. The Grow Project is a government initiative implemented by the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development and Private Sector Foundation Uganda with support from the World Bank.
Welcome back. Business news now. More than 5,000 farmers from Bunyoro sub-region have trained in 4-acre model farming system at Busesa demonstration farm in Kivale district. A model farmer, Dr. Richard Lubega, says the training engages the rural population to utilize the land and get rid of poverty at household level.
Engaging the rural population to utilize the land is one of the forms to get rid of poverty at household level. Agriculture employs 68% of Uganda's population. So, agricultural modernization and wealth creation at household level will support commercial farming.
In the morning, he milking,
10 liters per cow. That's 40 liters every day.
A model farmer, Dr. Richard Lubega, recently hosted President Museveni at his 4-acre model Busesa demonstration farm. He claims to have trained over 5,000 Bunyoro farmers, including religious leaders.
The issue of innovation, we have showed these workers practically which innovations BCDO has put across that can help them move further, make more money, get more cash when they are selling their products.
Dr. Richard explains that he has expanded with innovations of silage processing, biogas, maize process, and training of university students on internship.
So we have showed them integrated agriculture, integration of farming, using different products, using different enterprises, and as a way of supporting people's incomes.
The trainees were drawn from Chibale, Kagadi, Kakumiro, Hoima, Masindi, Chikube, Bulisa, Chegegwa, Mobende, and Chiboga districts. I'm Benon Mukwaya with Andrew Musinguzi, UBC.
Sports news now, and the chairperson of the Vocational Schools Sports Association of Uganda, Kabatesi Rugacha, has said 12th edition of the National Games and Sports Championship for Skills Development Centers have opened in Katakwi district. Take a watch.
This year's championship has attracted 24 skills development centers on government, 2 private centers, namely Suri SDC from Rural District and from Minio SDC from Arua District. Please, next host is likely to be West Nile. 462 male participants, then females 306, making a total of 768. Central is the lead. Next to Central is Eastern that has hosted us.
So meaning that my head trainers here have a challenge of transport. Imagine somebody coming from Western Africa. We are asking that let the ministry take a deliberate action and provide us with the transport like the buses.
There are new reforms in the Tibet, and the Tibet Act is going to handle as we carry on those reforms. So you need not to worry, those will be handled. Next year, be heads of institutions. We want these games to grow, so we shall write you a circular raising that bar. You are all very smart, but other people don't have banners, and some children were running bare feet. Score at 0.
These games, therefore, are more than sports. They are a platform to build discipline, teamwork, resilience, and leadership.
Mbuya Parents School is committed to holistic learner development by combining academic excellence with sports. An educationist, Betty Tushabe Nalongo, urges parents and government to support children's growth through sports.
I love the team spirit, especially for our parents.
Uganda is rich in young talent, and the school continues to stand out by integrating academics with talent identification.
So I would really encourage parents that children participate in sports. And to the government, they have a lot to do. When you go out there and look at schools, many schools don't have playgrounds, don't have fields. So where do these children go to play?
Management emphasized nurturing competent learners who contribute to national development by prioritizing both classwork and co-curricular activities.
But above all, as in Mbuya Parents School, we believe in holistic education. So you can't say you are doing holistic education minus sports. Sports is part of the holistic education which we believe in.
The school noted that sports is vital in shaping physically healthy and mentally sound individuals. However, it stressed that both parents and government play a key role in supporting sports programs. Parents praised the initiative and encouraged wider participation.
This has been an amazing event. There were very many things showed. We saw talent. We saw children run marathon. with the coordination of team building activities. We really saw children that are motivated and ready to learn and improve on their talents.
This is something that I would advise every parent to encourage their students to participate in. I would also like the government to introduce more of these activities in schools such that they can help develop the talent of some students.
We thank God for giving us such a beautiful day to do all the activities. The children participated in so many activities like long release, short release, rope skipping, bridge crossing, and so many others. Parents were here cheering their students to have the morale of continuing to participate. I thank the parents for what they have done for their children.
Indeed, children should engage in sports as part of holistic education. And that story brings us to the end of this second and final edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for having kept us company. I am Rukidi Kiijanangoma, wishing you a blessed night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. Kabarole district is located in western Uganda, about 320 kilometers west of Kampala city. It is bordered by Chenjojo district to the east, Ntoroko district to the north, Chibale district to the northeast, Kamwenge district to the southeast, Bunyangabo district to the south, DRC to the southwest, and Bundibujo to the west. It forms part of Toro Kingdom. The main economic activity of the population is subsistence agriculture and animal husbandry. One of the farmers in Rutete sub-county, Kwezi Evans Kabagonji, is 70 years old. She owns a banana plantation. She received 1 million shillings PDM money and invested it in her banana plantation. Kabagonji has benefited from growing bananas, which has improved her income.
Basi ngenda mu maiso ija ntandika gukora umurimo gwango gwakuzireki ubu nazitungire nkozese ibitoke byange ntemereza basuye kakurunge babinganiza yenyuma naroraga ngo mu mwezi gumu nso kutema mu ibitoke nka 20 bitu hati ntema mu ibitoke 45 mu mwezi nasanga nikingabire mu amani kandi tincha tuntura hati ndikurungi nisemero mu byona nesima NRM Ninsima emo bemeriro kurora kumanyira itu abacheke mukyaro abahansi nagamba mukamuli murungi ninyongero kusabira muzee Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ayongero kwemera habukuba mukisani cyange mutwara nka ruhangu yatumira musambana Baisaleri kubiha Misiri na Museveni akaja kuchungura yitwe abali tumaze kwa basibe tumaze kuburangatanizebo tutwine na bumuru tutwine bwihora agambira nka Baito byezi agamba ati nangu dekandola abahansi emyaka nyine ensanju nena nanye ubundi bukwentera kwisobora bitabukurora omanya omuntu ensanju nena nabakaikwe n'ebitekerezo hati bwacya ndaliyacya hati bwira ndakora hati ndakaha bwite ubundi kwemerera nkorongo buri kimwe cyarindura kiroho oli neje ngamba manyire ngwenja ndi mawurubimbi nimgamba giyo ndimira halinya nimbi ahecho kutacyanyi kisobiri nimpura ningaruka mwamani nimba ninsemererwa omanye omuntu karo tuntwiro okayikura baitu atwe myaka nsanju nena tini musiki muto.
Mwine Patrick is a resident of Kanyatete village, Chakaigo Parish, Harugongo sub-county. He belongs to Chakaige Sacco. He formed Kanyatete Vegetable Growers Enterprise to venture into agriculture. Before venturing into agriculture, Mwine received Public Development Fund support and invested in his enterprise. Mwine seems to have made progress out of the initial PDM fund, but he has expanded his enterprise. Government initiative of supporting the farmers at the grassroots is a boost to improve incomes at household level to improve livelihoods.
PDM obuzaizire, of course kabantaito betu zikambusting. Okwankante na mibazi sente zo nekoza kandi mnakubaire zitaloho. Of course nkenyanya nkanta so kuzeza. Kwenyanya zo nzenda chemicals. So obuzizire kanagera nko kungoberege mtaro nsanju na gumu n'orukumi endesere kunu nindora muri sente na n'obundi omukutekamo nizija kuongera nizinyongera kwimukya my capital, my stand of living. Now ninihira kakuba sente zinunziya muno nizija kuba nizinyamba kusomesa abana bakwana baba n'abana bala university then no kukora business kuongera nkakora business yenda kwani yenda kora business ya growers kutunda ebyomere nkebihimba binyobwa n'ibindi so nisima government abokuba amananu ekatumanyira nkabalimi yatukwateraho kutinja gamba ngwe tohiri betu ekatukwatariye ebyo tukozeke bitubere twine akwane yamboguru kwekamba so ningera nisima government muno ntayina kugarukira abakase aba sentes yatohire kuyani insaba warali yomugisa gundi yatuongereho nuko ebitukora beyongereho.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Welcome to the Rotary Moment Show. We look forward to showcasing a thinker, a strategic leader, a human being, somebody who loves God and he loves Rotary. I'd like to introduce you today to a seasoned banker, investment manager. He is one of the most strategic thinkers I know. He is a wonderful leader. This governor has an MBA, he has an LLM, he is a statistician, he's a jack of all trades, but one of the things that I like is the aurora he brings to the room. He is very subtle, very humble, and I'd like to introduce to you Geoffrey Martin Kitakule, who is the district governor for 9213 and has been governor or is governor for 2025-2026. We shall be celebrating him this week at the district conference in Entebbe Imperial Resort Hotel. He has been wonderful, but one of the mantles that he leaves with us as he ends on 1st July is the Rotary Eyamba theme that has been on the airwaves, on everything that he says. And we would like to ask you to have a hashtag starting today with Rotary Eyamba. Imagine how many people will be able to see how much Rotary helps. And we're going to discover quite a lot about him today. So if you want to know your governor, stay tuned. Welcome to the Rotary Moment. 2026 has proved to be one of the most successful years in Rotary. Tonight we get to profile GK, like all of us call him, but he's also called Geoffrey Martin Kitakule. And it gives me a lot of pleasure, by the way, Governor, that towards the end of your year we get to understand a couple of things that have been very amazing this year. I want to, first of all, before we delve into so much, because from my research, from what you've done throughout the year, it's going to be one of the most interesting interviews I have done since. Who is Geoffrey Martin Kitakule? Where did he come from? Who are you?
Geoffrey Martin Kitakule is a road tractor.
Good.
Because I started as a road tractor. But in so where did I come from? Our original home is actually in Busesa.
Okay.
And Busesa is now part of Bugwere district. And from there, then I was able to go to high school. Ended up in King's College, Budo.
Okay.
It started my career. A lot of people, lots of friends. Started my career. Then I went to do a master's in computer science. Did an MBA and an LLM.
Yeah.
So my career has been in 4 fields.
Yeah.
And I worked in several companies. And those companies mostly here in Uganda and also abroad. But if I look back at my Ugandan setting, it's the background that sets you, where you come from, how your parents have brought you up.
Yeah.
And for me, I saw my parents bring up, and education was very important. But not only that, giving back to society is very important. So that's why you see us as a Kitakule family, we started a foundation in their names. And we put up a community library in Busesa. And we put up Hope Children's Clinic in Busesa. But this is giving back society. So who am I? I'm a person who has had a career in banking, telecoms, and other fields. But then look at my Rotary career, a Rotary actor, then joined Rotary, and it's giving back into society in Rotary act and Rotary that has reshaped that part of my life. That you work, be blessed, and bless others.
Wonderful. Did Geoffrey Kitakule play football, basketball? Did he kwepena? What did Geoffrey Kitakule do in Busesa?
No, I was growing up as a footballer.
Okay.
It was my best game.
Yeah.
But then that generation, our parents knew that it was very hard to break into international football.
Yeah. You were at international level?
No, I wasn't at international level, but I was that good.
Whoa.
So the issue was encouraging more us to study. To study more. So it's not a game that I'd have taken on. Now, when we look at our children, we support them as much as possible. That generation of my parents, for them, they looked at education as
was a pen.
Yeah, so at home it was a family issue that I overplayed soccer.
Yeah.
But I started also to read, to make a difference in that reading. But if I look at my son is a good footballer. I encourage him to pursue his dreams.
Yeah.
But he has to be the best at it. So I tell him that you always have to have a backup. My mom was a teacher. My dad, a railway executive. They all emphasize education. And that was what would break into you. Make sure you break into the world.
Next time you meet the governor, just put him aside and say, man, which team do you support? Because we have, I'm not going to tell you to give it to me on air.
No, I'll tell you the team I support.
Which one is that?
I support Arsenal Football Club.
Oh my God, Arsenal fans, there you go.
I'm an Arsenal fan, but I also support local teams. But the issue about soccer is that you support where you enjoy the kind of football.
Yeah.
So I was breaking out as a young teenager. Arsenal was playing one of the best football. And they still play.
Yeah.
But it's not always that the best team will take the trophies.
Yeah. But the most strategic.
All of us support the Brazilian team. We know is the best, the best players, but they want to take the trophy every time.
Oh, you just bust my bubble, but us know it is.
Yes.
Well, Governor, once in a while I'll call you GK to hone in on some of the things that I find very fascinating about you. And again, this is probably the final question about your personal life. You're very observative. GK will be in a place and you will not know he's there until he stands up to speak. But when he speaks, there's so much volume in what you say. And this is me observing over a period of time. How do we build character? How do we build this? Okay, this is before you became governor. And then they introduced the district governor nominee. And you get up and you're there. And what you say has so much volume that the room goes quiet and they're listening. How have you gained this craft? It is beautiful.
I think the most important thing that we always have to